I guess I'll just make this recording. This is after the 17 videos. There's a lot of distortions that I went through dealing with all these concepts, and I jump around. This is because this is the way it is. See, we want order to things, and we can't understand it because just stick to us. Okay, I'm going to stick to a broad concept. Okay, with the earth, our life, our breath. We're born, we die from these bodies. Our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, that whole family tree. We forgive the family tree, everybody. And we also forgive what they have done to others and what others have done to them, see, in the past, that came into the DNA within us. We forgive the family tree. We forgive ourselves, and we use the mirrors. We forgive ourselves. The mirrors can capture the sun, a mountain. A mirror has no reflection of itself, and we reflect the sun. If we hold this mirror, we can see that, and we know darkness can't enter. So we reflect ourselves. We look in the mirror. Now we're reflecting the sun within us. See, darkness can't penetrate. So if someone weaponized something, some thought, a color of, their skin color to make you hate. See, it's all about unprogramming the hate and to be able to see our own selves, to be in our own humanity. We're perfectly imperfect. An expectation is an upset waiting to happen. See, these concepts, I'm not going to edit. I don't want to edit. See, this comes out in sporadic because we want to know the answers. And I'm going to give, all right, now the nutshell answer. Okay, I have to set the phone down. The PTSD that I go through, forgive me the reason I talk fast, but there's a lot to unlock. See, someone will hear this, and then one thing will just unlock in their mind. See, take what you want and leave the rest. See, that's simple. You take what you want and leave the rest. So how did it all happen? We all want to know the Big Bang, we heard that. Okay, everything, boom. Okay, let's just go with that. The sparks, everything, but it exists all at once. That means you are a spark. Just like a planet is a piece of the source. You're a spark. The planet's a spark. Everything, stars, dust, molecules, everything. See, everything. Everything exists at once. See. That's a hard, and then the consciousness and time, how we look at time. But so everything exists at once. And then time, billion years, the galaxy is, 9, 12 billion, whatever, they come up with these numbers. We know it's older than, right? Billions of years. We're here just like, some only, right? 5 years, 10, right? 50. If you're lucky, they're only 7 years or 10, right? We get caught and see, then we can get, but okay. See, so life is precious. Every moment's a blue moon. Yes. Synchronicities, 1111s, are incredible communicators from the other side. See, we can get into that, but let's just get into there's two sides, folding the physical and then the spiritual. When we pass away, we're energy, we're consciousness. Okay, I know, I have anxiety, see, PTSD and all of that, okay? So it's easy to judge. See, there's no judgment on the other side, okay? There's no judgment on the other side. There is unconditional love, so there's no judgment. So the universe, you're all over, sparks everywhere. You're a spark off the source. Now there's different times. See, we want to say, I'm more of a spark than you. I'm a better spark than you, See, I just want to be a better person, not better than you. See, we say better than you in a sport, and then when it transfers, but am I better than you now? See, did that program over to me that I'm a better person because of my beliefs now? See, that went in us. See, I'm unlocking that. See, it's how I perceive that. I never thought of that before. See, I just shut you off because you were just babbling. See, I missed, see, that's why you talk about passion. See, I wish you would finish thoughts. See, see, that's the thing. There's humor on the other side. Okay, I'll finish it. All right, the universe exploded. Your consciousness, let's just get to it. Let's try to nutshell it down without getting too lost. There are going to be so unbelievable things I'm going to say. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to go with it like I'm reading something. I don't have anything but a bowl of oatmeal right now. And I haven't finished it yet. But I'm going to just finish this. So you are, first we should say we are a miracle. We're a miracle. That's coffee, I know. It's like, How rude. These judgments, see. We're human. Do we tolerate? How much do we tolerate? We can't take it anymore, see. We're programmed like that. I realized that with PTSD since early 2000s. Not from war. I didn't go to war. I didn't do that. I didn't, and people go through these things, So there's different PTSDs, but I'm just saying, I didn't go to war and I didn't, I wasn't under fire or I didn't hear gunshots. I didn't have anybody around, So it wasn't in that situation. It was PTSD, other trauma, psychological, okay, which creates, anyway, that's just, psychological. So it creates this, depressions and anxieties and anyway, so I don't want to relive it, but I'm saying that's why I go through. So early, and then it got worse, and like 2009, 10, 11, whatever it was, and then it's still, you go, and then I do all through, and then you go through, and then you go through ups, and then you suicidal ideations, things like that. So don't kill yourself because that's unnatural. And then contracts are broken, and then I want to try to jump in my body, and I realize I was wrong, and the people that love me and what I caused, and that causes karmic events and karmic waves that need to be paid back because our higher self sends that back. See, we are causing this between each other. See, when someone comes into your life, moments maybe, and they just irritate you. See, these are our best teachers. See, we forget that. See, we can get lost because we want to know everything. See, the Big Bang, we were everything. The rock, the blade of grass, we were trees, we were consciousness of insects. We became, reptilian-like, if you will, with lizards and things like that. That's a whole nother story with the reptilians and the DNA and things like that. Okay, we don't want to get too sidetracked. And then we get on, forms of animals. See, we were everything, land, sea, and air. All these creatures. And now we're this consciousness that evolved. You know how you have a pet and there's a personality? These are conscious developments. There's beings that come in, just want to see how a human's going to treat them if they want to come to Earth because they know Earth's a roll of the dice. We can get, it's just stories. Just if I just take time, but see, there's so much to cover. So, and then I lose my train of thought. See, so you have to know you're everything already. Now you're this consciousness. See, and now you are going to be every race, every religion. See, when we hold on to healing, see, we know healing happens and we hear it. Like this church here, I'll just say a church, or a non-profit organization over here, or somebody in a hospital over here, or somebody in a bedroom, or somebody on their toilet, or somebody laying in a bed, or somebody in a gutter, or somebody in this little group over here, or somebody walking on a retreat somewhere else had healing, and Jesus wasn't mentioned. Okay. So we're doing some separations here that I don't want to do. I don't want to do these, and I say I don't. But we live in these paradigms and paradoxes, and I don't want to. So we have to be all religions, and what do I want to see? Okay, Father, why have you forsaken me? See, just that statement. If I, I said that twice. Like, why did you bring me in this world? There's a separation. I just said yes. I know the claiming. I know. But see, we hold on to things, and if I said something like, well, what if Jesus didn't want to be praised? Like, right? He wanted to show, like, the way. See, and I start getting specific because something came into me like that, and then I say, well, I shouldn't say that because now I'm the devil and I'm distorted and I need to run back and I'm just labeled and I'm out of the book. See, all books are limited, but yet all books are unlimited. See, we're thinking always, we forget who we are. We're an eternal being that lives forever. Let's just get that. We're all these consciousnesses. If you want to get it summed up, we're thrown in a body now. A container, if you will. And then we have to master emotions, which are feelings, and feelings have, lag time, they drag. They could, you forgive somebody, it could take, 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 2 weeks, 2 years, 17 years. I'll never forgive, 20 years, 30 years go by. Sometimes you even forget, what does it even matter anymore? Just shine a light out like that. See, we hold on to these, to these paradigms that we live in, and we forget how to see through our eyes. See, when we cry, you can say they water up. I say they're crystallized eyes. See, because they're tears, they link to your heart. Okay. See, that's why you're here as a consciousness. Now you're all races, you're everything. See, if I'm holding on to the healing on this religion, I'm claiming it more. But yet healing's coming on over here and here, but it's not done, it's just different. Okay, see, there's universal laws, again, of healing, like gravity, polarities. See, if we claim something, see, on our minds, we categorize it and we limit it. See, we label it. You know, you're this, and you're that. See, it could be this and that. See, we think it's this, or it's that. It's usually this and that. It's both. See, there's polarities, there's dualities. There's dualities within us. And we get lost in all that because we can't remember we're an eternal being. We don't know what it's like because we don't know what it's like to be decay. We want to know what we are not. See, we're not decay. We're not pain. See, the pain, when we pass away, the pain and suffering is physical and mental torment, like wanting to end it, and just the world and the hate and the violence and look what happened, I lost it. So the other side we take is the remorse and the regret. That's the pain. See, all that we did, like I did this, I robbed there, I broke this window. See, all that's remorse. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I see what I did. See, we play these roles, these characters. See, if we go unconscious, see, if we could just wake up just from that, see, someone that will wake somebody up right now. They'll come on like a light bulb. You mean I'm playing? Yes. When you pass away, you're going to say, I was just an actor. I was playing a role, and I see the other people around, and I'm playing a role. I'm playing this person. I'm playing that person. And we vacillate within roles like a corporation. We work for a corporation, let's say, of like 5,000 people. And the president, comes down into the lobby, and he starts to walk in and, the crowd's mingling and, but we're a little more polite, see. See, we're a little more aware, like it's the God concept. We want to anchor the word God and claim it because everybody is reaching for that word. It's, as we say, it's love in the source. We say we want to love everybody. That's so true. And I can see this planet 1,000 years from now on the flag. I can see it. There's every country is a pin, like a starlight. It's a star. It's pinned on there. It's a star. And, every country. And the non-countries that are not non-countries that weren't countries. And then those are also pinned. And in the center is the earth dynamically. And then in the side of the earth is the sun. And I can see, in this earth is the beacon of the universe. The whole Milky Way is lit up. All the beings, there's thousands of beings that live on worlds out from the earth. And other galaxies and other dimensions, as we see dimensions and universes. Yes, all these dimensions and all these. You can create something over all the dimensions, over all the constructs, over all in love. See, but you can't do it with hate programmed. You have to see. That's why they're going to use news clippings 500 years from now. This is the other side tickles me. I was just talking to my wife, and she goes, "I have to go. I just happened to look down at the time, and we were on the phone. It was 11 minutes and 11 seconds. I mean, that was just like I was like, whoa. And I'm saying, what? And you woke up and saw 11:11. Okay, you saw it. See, and then my sister saw, and I think even my therapist said, I think once he saw an 11, it's like, I don't see him all the time. Yeah, but I saw one once. It's like, see, we're locked in our own program. It's like a polka dot sky, a child raised just with two parents, no TV, no internet, no friends, just those two parents. Look at the polka dot sky, but educated on the smarts of the street. But it was polka dot sky. And they go out, 18 now, get a job. They're just with their friends. Look at the polka dot sky. So you're already ahead of me, but look at the polka dot sky. See, that's the way my mind races. Like that, it all comes in a download. It's painful. I get headaches, okay? Forgive me. Sorry I talk so fast. It comes in, downloads come in like all of that. Everything I say comes in like that. Okay. All right. And there's pieces of the puzzle that you see in movies that will go, there's a truth. The quantum entanglement is 0.1. That's in a movie. See? There's free energy. See, I could see the earth. I could see no garbage. The air is clean. Technologies. See, we don't pump in and build a building and pump in energy into these like deserts out there where people are trying to just find water because the energy. See, it costs money. Trillions. See, there's money. Corporations. See, money has to be made. This is how it's done. So, but there's free energy. You put free energy there, and a backup free energy, and you could have a botanical. You could grow, and you'd be the things that I could see like that. And so, okay, what you see, no homelessness. There's not that. There's not the desperation. It's a different. Beings are racing in to incarnate here because they know they're creators. They know. See, it's like. See, I'm tired of being duped and had and fooled. See, you have to know this. See, I say I have to know. See, it's a reflection in the mirror. We reflect everything. It's all karmatic. See, we drop a nuclear bomb on people and we think, we just go on. All those souls were innocently taken, but all those souls before, who were they? How do we know certain things that were so good in their life? See, there's certain balances. Why did that plane go down? No, I'm not saying they deserved it. See, you automatically think this because these are precious souls that died that should never have. And what did we learn? Nothing. We built more bombs. I'm sorry for yelling. Sorry. We built more bombs. See, we didn't learn anything from destroying 100,000 people, from nuclear bombs to stop, the war. That's what we, right? History changed. We have to move our own Titanic. See, there are people, our newscasters those have the greatest karmatic waves. They create them and they come from them. They ride them like people ride the tsunami. You hear those, those 100-foot waves or whatever, that come once in 10 years, and there's some surfer that's gonna ride that wave. Well, that's what it's like. That's what it's like. Oh God, I short circuit psychically. See, this comes in sporadic because there's answers that want to be known in synchronicities, like the 1111, the washer and dryer. Let's just let's just come back to Earth now. Whoa, Daryl. Whoa, don't tell me there's animals from other planets on Earth. Don't tell me that. Which ones? Okay, praying mantis is one. Okay. The dog. The cats, the cat family, cats. There's beings that have cat features. Okay. See, this planet is the grand experiment of an incarnation cycle because they're incarnated in a singularity race. That's why we have different races. See, we have other beings' DNA in us. See, I shouldn't even go there because now that goes against everything we're taught. The polka dot sky. I'm comfortable if I say anything. See, we like to cancel. That's okay. Privately. You could still go wherever you're going. Just shine with the light. That's it. Don't hate. There you go. That's it. It's simple. Just be a light. Be a light. Say, you know what? I'm not going to contribute to that darkness anymore because my soul's at stake. I'm tired of incarnating. This is the last time. Now, some people want to come back. See, my wife wants to come back. She's a warrior. It's like, whoa. See, these are warriors. See, women are more intuitive than men. See, I know. See, right now I created already a shift. See, oh boy. Okay. Okay, I don't want to edit. I don't want to stop this. Okay, this is what happens. So you have to bring yourself back. See, the most important thing is just being present. See, but knowing what we reflect. See, it's about not only being, I'm present, I'm breathing in the chakras, and there's nothing wrong. I don't want to mock it by the tone of my voice. Everything is precious. See, every person is precious. I know. How could you say that? How could you say that about oh God, that one? And we think we can't do something. I will never do it. The hypocrisies, right? We see another, okay. So you mean even that one? So we always want to go to the parameters. No, I would say not. I wouldn't want to include that one. That's true. I'm human, okay? I have my own boundaries of limitation. I'm in a limited body. I can't stand things. I'm not perfect. I have pains in my body, back pains, neck pains, groin pains. I hit my thumb and bump and a bone. I mean, it's just well, why not take all that healing? Like you see, the judgments come in. See, and it keeps us from our true knowing. See, I already know that I created something. See, I say my dear friend that passed. We created something foolproof, and that will help this side as well. So I invite you to my universe, and to do that, just create. You can be a creator of anything that's good. See. So why would you want to see this? Or we say, well, what this is? Yeah, this is the. You know what some beings say? This is like a hell. That's right. See, this is in their minds, hell. So I died, and it was hell, and I saw the devil, and they told me in the darkness, and I was told all these. See, the mind is so creative. It's like writing a fantasy novel. See, I was dead for 10, and I'm not mocking. See, there's a learning lesson in everybody. Just like a president, every person, your friend, your spouse is your greatest, your neighbor. If we even talk to our neighbor, when we talk, maybe the next time I'll see my neighbor, I'll just, have a light. Because we're so in our silos, so to speak. See, in this country, in countries, we live in like these containers. And then when we go to see other countries, I could just get lost on things because everything is a miracle. See, knowing and being present and breathing your breath in, like, and then that's the stardust of the universe. See, it's okay, I forget. That's what it's like to forget higher self. It's always about communication with your higher self. You send yourself back. There's no one sending you. There's no one judging you except you. You're the mirror. You're the reflection. See, this is the greatest consciousness. Wouldn't you think like, oh, becoming a blade of grass and becoming, a worm is a great, like a butterfly. We don't question the butterfly transformation, right? The caterpillar. We don't question that. But yet the butterfly effect is real. Yes, energy. Yes, you can move your Titanic. Yes. I can move my even for a moment. See, even though I could die anytime in an instant, then I know in my last breath, what was my last action? See, it's us and them. We have these limitations in our mind. See, I'm just going to jump all over now. I'm just going to roll with the flow of it, because somebody's mind has to hear something to unlock something. See, take what you want, leave the rest. You're eternal being, you're in your body, you're mastering emotions, feelings have lag time. You're here to move energy from that result of learning, like painting beautiful art, beautiful music, not destroying and building bombs and going along with hate and distorting. Newscasters have the greatest responsibility of all to wake people up with truth, not distortion. Well, I'm here to read a script and I'll have the teleprompter and I'll lose my millions of dollars and I have to keep doing this. See, this is the thing. A person like you, if a person on the podcast, on a radio, is taken over by hate and programming and going along with that, and that's side because I'm in on it. See, I want to protect my side at all costs. See, we forget ourselves and we'll incarnate again. See, this is a school. We're here to learn, we're in a school. You're in a school on this side, the other side's a school. When you die, you pass away, you say, oh, look at my body, I'm above my body, I see, oh, I just popped back in. See, like that. Oh, I left my body and it was dark and the devil and all this, and then I popped back in. I saw the light and I popped back in, and it's the devil. I saw the light and I popped in, it was an angel. I saw a light and it was Jesus. I saw the light and it was my mother. I saw the light. See, these are things, like the polka dots these are the communication tools of energy that come in, and it's not wrong. See, we think, and when we die like that, we think it's hell, that won't hold. I can tell you that. I can tell you when you die, how the chutzpah, how can you tell? How do you know? Where do you get your information from? Who is telling you this? See, when you die and you have this hate and you have this distortion and you come back and you think it's like that and you think your mind and it's all scrambled because of that. See, you're one of the greatest teachers. See, you're one of the greatest, because if you can see through that now, see, that's distortion. See, it won't hold. See, goodness and light, it just won't hold that. See, that's a belief. Even though you died, the miracle of coming back. So you're holding on still. See, it's part of you now because you reached out and you attached it to yourself. A being that lives forever, a spiritual being, a creator that's mastering emotions, that have feelings, have lag time. See, you're moving energy. Have you put energy down into the earth, which is a being? Have you moved energy from the sun that's photons are charged of light? Have you moved it around the earth? Did you see it go through your body and your hands, through the earth to the center? And people walk on it as you expanded the energy out from the earth, and people walk on it and it's chipping away the hate DNA and it's unlocking through your crystallized eyes. Because when you cry, see, it's wireless DNA. See, your subconscious hears everything. See, it's heard everything right now. Everything that I said is unlocked. These are pieces of puzzles. It's hard to break our paradigms. It's shattering. It is. It should come with a warning label. Warning. See, it could be like a PTSD reaction. A fracture can occur in the mind. See, my mind raced for years. This didn't have 3 years ago, the ones, okay? Just like I said, I was talking to my wife. 3 years ago, I was pissed off because I kept seeing ones. Let's get to it. I was, right? I just kept one everywhere, a universe of ones. One. I paused the video. It's 1 hour, 11 minutes, 11 seconds. Just constant and miraculous. Just like I would be talking and communicating, and then I would see like one. I wouldn't even know what time it was. I'd look around and I'd have like support. See, we want support. We want proof. So that I was going crazy. I'm like, okay, because I could think, is that my thought? Is that, we see channeling and energy and, and all kinds of, and we judge and see, everything's a miracle. Everybody's a miracle. Everybody. You yourself in a mirror is a miracle. Look at yourself jumping in a pool. You come out, you had your makeup on, but you jump and you come out with that and your glory and you're shining, you're sparkling as you. How you look, the size and everything, your spirit. Forget all the judgments. Your light. You offer a creativity, a beauty. See, we have to keep that always in the forefront of our minds. See, because we can get lost in the distortions of hate programming. And there's defaults. See, but in the subconscious, see, there's levels of fail-safes. See, to dismiss, to dehumanize, because of the side. They're not on my side. Therefore, I'm going to dehumanize them I'm going to take one flaw, 2 flaws, 3 flaws. So there are shortcomings as a person, and dehumanize them, and do whatever I can to get political power back. And we do that, doesn't matter who it is. That's like a knee-jerk reaction, see. This is a polarity shift. This is like where it comes to a head. This is why the energy, the polarities are shifting hard. See, we cannot get over ourselves. We have DNA from other beings within us. We're the greatest creation. We're an experiment. See, we can't get over ourselves with that. And how they move things and stuff. People move things with their mind at Atlantis. So we could talk about it failed when it went down. You heard of Atlantis, it goes down. The Bermuda Triangle, there was a time thing they had. We believe time machine movies, right? So a time machine goes down. They're messing with, just like, Project Looking Glass through the government, fishbowl, there's certain concepts that, see, there's in a movie, there's a concept that's totally true, there's lots of little truths. See, just like the news, truth, lie, so it's overwhelming. We get and we shut down. So we tune out. So then we become unconscious and it's too much and my eyes glaze over and I have a headache. See, we're overloaded because we can't it's like a baby getting a steak. Oh, you're calling me a baby and this and that, and I cry like, see, we judge that. See, our ego is our hand. We always have to remember that one. Our ego is just like, we can open our hand. I said that before. I might repeat things. It doesn't matter. Things need to be repeated like that because our ego loves to take charge. It loves to say, it's me, it's I. Let me step in there and get the credit. Let me get the followers. It's just, there's a business and I have to make money and I understand that. I don't want any followers. Follow your higher self. Create the Titanic to turn completely from the iceberg. Now you might hit it, okay, I heard it, I don't believe it, whatever. But you heard it subconsciously, so your higher self, it's all like plugged in, like, wow, okay, I just got a shot. See, that's the juice. See, the emotions why we're here is like, without the emotional juice, as you would say, life would be stale. See, without the but there's lag times with emotions when we hate, deceive, and somebody cheated on us, and we want to kill, and these emotions, and then they go away. Okay, you hear a person going to prison. Oh, I wish I never did that. 10 years later, I realized it was wrong, or a month later, or a day later. See, it depends how long that happens, and how long somebody forgives somebody. And do we ever forgive ourselves? Forgive our past lives? Do we jump in another person's body? Like, Daryl, I'm sorry I did that to you. Please forgive me for anything I did. Intentionally or unintentionally, that caused you harm or pain. Please forgive me, Daryl. And then I jump out. See, I say, I forgive you, so-and-so, that you did that. And then I understand. Please forgive me too. Let's move on, and we'll heal with that. I forgive you. We're human. We have shortcomings. I know. I could do the same thing in hidden, maybe. A personality of it. I'm trying to hide it, and I'm acting. See, I'm trying to be a better person than you. No, I just want to be a better person. See, we can drift off. See, once we realize this dynamic through our crystallized eyes, see, when you take a shower, that's 5,000 years. You take a guy, how about 500 years ago? You take a person 500 years ago. I like let's use 500 years ago. Because I use that with 500 years in the future with the news clippings. Oh boy, that's a good one. Just here class, here elementary school, here's how minds are warped. You see? See, and they teach that. They dissect, like how we like to they dissect all that stuff up in the future. So it's recorded. So we didn't have anything recorded 500 years ago. Like we didn't have 4K and 8K, we didn't have all that technology. So you take someone out 500 years ago and you put them in your hot shower right away. Hot water coming out of a wall. Miracle. Next time you get in your shower, if you're lucky to have a shower, see, it might be a bath. You might have to just pour water over a bucket over your head. When you pour water over a bucket over your head, just the lukewarmness or the coolness of it. See, the photons have charged the air, the land, the water. It's coming out of the shower over your body. See, it's cleansing you. See, it's taking you on a journey into your heart. See, ask someone how fast life goes by. Ask someone that's gone, that just passed away, that how fast. And they'll say, it's fast. If I could only, do a time jump right now. When someone comes into the room that you love, or with the person right now, you can do it together. You can time jump, meaning the feeling. See, we're here because of feelings and emotions. See, what greater creation is the juice of love and passion and art and music and just the wonders of that kind of thing. See, we think and we like to label things because certain things on the other side just doesn't jive with the geometrics of our living. So we can't really grasp. Say, well, how do you know? How do you know? Because of the judgments and the conditioning. See, we're so conditioned that we can't get out of our own conditioning because we're in a body. Until we die, then that conditioning changes. Okay, here's how you test yourself. Okay, this conditioning, next person you see. Okay, I talk about time jumping. You know how you lose someone and you have those tears of, I wish I could just know that you came back in your body right now, in this moment of time. Right now, you entered your body. Consciously, you feel your hand touch your significant person. Somebody, if you're fortunate to have somebody that you want to do, and you transfer that love. It could be a friend, a love, right? Anybody. So, handshake, you could just a casual handshake to a person. You could just the forgiveness. Maybe you can't stand that person, but you just can't really talk about it because it creates pain. See, we think, I'll just say all this and they'll just accept. Look, just do it with energy. Just shake the person's hand and just, you see them on TV, you say, wow, they're really pissing me off. It's amazing how they're irritating you right now. Wow, they know the tools. See, they know the tools of hate. They're clever. I mean, they're insulting my, they're trying to insult my intelligence. But most people, I hate to say it, they fall for it and they listen to it and they just feel, whatever side that's going on. Now, some are more, you can have a side that says, yes, it's a little warmer in the light. And then you can have a side that says, yes, it's a little more cooler at the night. And that creates a side. See, it's how you look at things. Are we looking at it through humanity? I know in 1,000 years, there's none of that. Missiles and tanks and guns. I know how could say gun. All that will be relics. Like you look in a museum, right? In the covered wagon. See, missiles will be like that. They're going to be like that was how we like to put the space capsule in and here was the Apollo. And you can see it. Well, it's going to be like, there was a missile. We're going to save one of those, right? And you're going to the shell of one. You'll see it cut in half. But that was a shell. They'll display it like that, to educate, to never forget. They say never forget. That didn't even happen. See, we're so arrogant. See, unless it was shown on video. See, we're different. See, before you listen to this, you were 10 minutes different. Now you're 10 minutes different again. See, you're changing all the time. You're evolving as a consciousness. See, we can't get over that we were everything already. You were cleaning, pneumonia out of the air, or the planet Earth, 1 million years ago. You could have been like a lava molecule, forming in a way. See, you have to know you have to be every race, you have to be everything. Once you know that consciously, that frees your mind. That's why people in prison are free. See, you can use your religions to get you free in your mind. That's the way they're set up. But if you say anything against it, there's no other way but this way. See, we hold on to it's like the healing. See, we like to hold on because there's business and there's money, let's face it, and structure, and that's the way to group, and we get together, and we don't question, and we put these books in the glass, and we don't, and we protect that. And we say it's unlimited. And we don't question that there's limitations in everything, in us. See, it's anointed, and we say, certain people are anointed. We like to use words like that. And maybe they are. Maybe they're anointed to lock your mind down further. Have you ever thought of that? That's interesting. The reverse of the reverse of the reverse. See, that's how good hate is. See, hate is so good because we've been listening to it through the sides that we choose. Or I'm an independent, or I'm a nonpartisan. See, if everybody was a nonpartisan, everybody just switched the vote to MPP, right? Nonpartisan party. That means I'm not going to claim to any side. Nothing. I'm not going to say I'm independent because, see, we're a herd mentality. So I'm going to say non. I'm not going to we identify with something. And I know we can't give that up because if I do, then the other side will win. I understand that. This is about yourself, just how you go along in life. That's it. How you just treat people, how you see yourself. This is we think we could just change I have only one problem with what's going on. I have one problem. The world is not going the way I want it to go. That's my only problem I have. See, but then we could say, this problem underneath, and then, this, and the environment, and then people, and politics, and the lies of the government, and yes, there is free energy, And that's an interesting one. See, nuclear is tainted. Look, we've dropped bombs and wiped out, hundreds of souls, and this created karmic, planets have exploded, the asteroid belt out there, if you want to go out, and that creates, people had but some, and then the hate of that, the hate part of it. So you wonder why there's a Hitler or a thing, and we throw that word around like it's just like, oh, he's a Hitler, or they're a Hitler, or they're acting like a Hitler. No, Hitler killed 6 million souls. Okay, pulled gold out of teeth. Go see Schindler's List again. Remind yourself, if you have to go through that again. You can only see a movie like sometimes once is enough. So we can get lost. So we can get lost, and yes, in the in the anti-gravity, in the UFOs, and the AV, and all those things, and we can go back in history with the Germans and the anti-gravities, and our Antarctic, and we can, and then they flew out and created something outside of our, out of our planet, and a different planet. So we could go so far out, and with truth. With truth, with proof. Our subs. Okay, government secret. Our submarines, there's an alien technology, skin coating, $250 million. Got to pop, just paint. It's like doing a paint job on your house, $250 million. But around the sub, because you have to have it, and you want the best, and of course, you're gonna want. Of course, but this is going on. Okay, well, okay. How about drilling under the earth? Okay, the movies, like on, Total Recall, the first one, right, with the machine going through the earth with those knobs, and how it breaks through, and that's how you drill. Well, they're going through lasers like 7 miles a day. They don't have to haul out any dirt. They have subways that go over Mach 2. They're 2 miles down, going base to base to base across the United States. Of course I would want that for security. It doesn't matter. Russia and all of China, it doesn't matter. They can't get to that. They're not going to take over this country with all these guns. Everybody has a gun. They're not going to come up on the shore. They know Americans are armed. They divide us within us. They divide us within us, within ourselves, with what we hear on TV. We don't question the hate. We, in fact, cheer it on. We cheer it on. I saw a spirit animal, and it was a sad dolphin, on a leader. I see certain things, and it's so bizarre. And I can say certain things, and right away, I saw, okay, and this is proof. I said it before, I had therapy. You can say, oh, good, I'm glad he's in therapy. Yeah, me too, yeah. Okay, so the day before, I just say, okay, I don't get into numbers too much. Because sometimes numbers can, okay, there's some of them, and I'm just not, some people are really good at numbers, and, they can find and resolve mysteries of unsolved deaths. People have talents. People can sense, like, if someone's gonna die, like if you're a nurse, and you have a talent, you can, like, excuse me, you can sense that, oh, I just sense maybe this person's gonna code, So I'm gonna just alert the staff that a coding could happen. And then like 30 seconds later, the patient coded, that's a sensing, so it's a gift. And then, we want to dismiss these like miracles, but those are all, everything. We're an eternal being that lives forever. We're in this body, and we can go from when we sleep, we leave our bodies, and we're interacting with other consciousness, if you will, other spirits, other souls, other energy sources, if you will. You see, we name it, and then we want to claim it. Remember, God, it's spelled backwards as dog. Remember, you have a canine tooth. We also have their DNA within us as well. They're rooting for us. They're a singular incarnation cycle. They're happy. But some want to come here because they know the dynamic of being a creator. It's different. Our minds are wiped here. Our minds are totally wiped. Am I recording? Okay, the phone. When we come here, born, our minds are wiped. It's almost like the greatest magic show on earth, really. Our minds are, but that's why you have some like deja vu, because we know our lives, we picked our lives from this action that we're taking now. That's how you have to look and say, well, why would I? No, this occurred first. They look through time, like Project Looking Glass, like the time machine, like a time movie. On the other side, you're a soul. You see, you've already done. You're lit now. See, you're right here, right now, living. You're either hating or loving. You're so on a side, you know, and we can go on genders. Why? See, a person is incarnated. Like, you have to be everything, right? But we keep having to come back. So you're incarnated as men, as women, right? And then we get into the genders and like, why is someone like, you know, gay or bisexual or lesbian or non-identified? I don't know all the terms, binary, or, you know, I get lost. I mean, I see all these terms like, whoa, just beings, man. We're all beings and bodies. You know, let me just back it up, you know. I mean, you know, and then I say that, or I might be offended, you know, we get offended, and, you know, we just get caught up in the labeling, and we identify, you know, because, you know, we want to be heard, and we want to be listened to and understood. That's what it comes down to. See, our ego feeds that. See, our ego is our hand. It could be our hand, and let the ego be part of the juice. You know, if you're a skier, let it, yeah, you know, but see, am I a good skier? Better, see, and then but enjoy the rush of the thrill of the being alive. See, the passion of, see, that's where the ego goes. See, the ego is part of that. It's the juice. If you didn't have that, it would be stale. See, but we have to balance it because there's a polarity, the yin and yang. See, this is hard to understand. This is free psychology. This is free, like free energy. See, this is free. No website, no books. I don't have anything. No, I'd love to see a movie. See, it's so scattered. Yeah, that'd be so great to see a scattered movie like that, with all the effects, you know. Take you down to, like, you know, the beginning of the podcast, you know, there could be like this wormhole, you know, and the music, dun, 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 you know, and it's just like, you know, see, vibrations frequencies is a hate frequency. You know, like canned laughter, you used to watch those old movies, you know, and they had the laughter and it was canned. You know, they just turn the dial with more laughter and they lower it. So the actor and the actress, see, we're all playing a role. We're playing an actor and actress. And, you know, I need to go back to the gender roles. So you're incarnating. I know, I'm jumping around. This is how PTSD is. See, it's fragmented. But it all comes together. It's weird. See, I might say something more like complete something that you wanted to know an answer before. I'm sorry I can't keep following. You know, because no one says, hey, Daryl, well, why don't you just go back on this track and finish that thought? Because I really want to know, like, your perception. Can you just get there and finish it? You know, can you just see, expectation is an upset waiting to happen. See, this is about being human. Our shortcomings are, people say, you know, fake it till you make it, you know, and things like that. We do these things because we go unconscious and we're battling, you know, we go to work, we got to put energy in the car some way, if we have a car, or the bus or the train, or walk or ride, we go somewhere, we always want to be a little more. See, if you want to take anything out, you can't be any more spiritual than you already are. You know, there's so many most important points, but see, we always think we have to reach for something. Where for something, we got to learn the whole book. You know, most people haven't. You say, oh, did you read the whole Bible? You know, they get all self-right. Did you read the whole? No, I didn't. No, I had it on tape one time, very early. You know, I can go through and say my own experiences. You know, I mean, yes, I was baptized in the ocean. I think at 17 years old. Just maybe, you know, 7 people, and I don't know, I had white shorts and a white t-shirt. What do I know? But, you know, I just remember this lady crying. I can't really remember them, but I just, one friend said, oh, why don't you come along? And they said, well, my baby was baptized. I wasn't baptized. And then we get in these things. I wasn't baptized as baby. And, okay, fine. I'll just, when you go to the shower, you can be baptized. When you're in the rain, you can be baptized. When you just pour water, see, you can just touch water and be back. A ray of light can hit your hand and unlock all the DNA within you. See, all these miracles are going on and we can't see anything. But the synchronicities, the ones. I was so angry. I know, I got to go back to that. I got to. I know, there's so many avenues. I'll probably have to listen to this back and say, oh yeah, okay, I'll actually make a note and I'll just go on that thought. How's that? Okay, the synchronicities. Let's focus on that. The synchronicities, all the 11s. I mean, like I said, a universe full of 11s. So I just got on the couch. I started the washer, hour 38 minutes. Sitting on the couch. I shut the door to the washroom. I have a house blessed, right? Let's just stick to the story. Because see, everything can be lost on the side in an instant. See, everything on the other side is not. Okay, so I'm going back to the couch, angry, upset at all these. 11s. I'm angry. Okay. I don't know how much time went by. I mean, my PTSD, I'm angry at a real level, and then pissed off, and I'm saying, fine. I want to see 111. Real arrogant. Arrogant to the loving universe, at reaching out a hand of spiritualism, and I'm pissed off, raging in there as a human being. Can you imagine that? The arrogance of myself. I look back at that and I said, but what does that teach me? See, I beat myself up? No. See, that's what it's like to be foolish, to put my foot in my mouth. So not to believe I want to see it to believe it. And yet I'm seeing all these miracles around me, these synchronicities, 12, 12, 10, 10, things like that, right? Not just 11s, 12, 12, 10, 10, I've been seeing a few 911s here and there, I can tell you, maybe that's, okay. So, so you see I'm going crazy, and then I just get pissed. So I race in, through the room, open up the door of the laundry, I want to see 111. I open the door and there's 111, and I was just like, I was really like, whoa, okay, whoa. I just stopped. I froze. I couldn't even I was like a robotic, slowed down, moving. I was just I'm trying to process. I was so angry. And then I heard, now you get it? Kind of like that little smart, little flare, but not angry or yelling. A little flare, kind of like waking up, kind of. And then just about moments like this, just after it's now you get it? A little, softer, gentler, empathetic, calming, And I said, I get it. It's but then I forget later, and then no, I get it. And then I get reminded, see. I wake up and it's 11:11 p.m. I wake up again, it's 1:11 a.m. I have a clock that projects the time on the ceiling, And then I see the time, it's big, but it's not, it's not where it's it's kind of dimmish, reddish, So, so I can fall asleep, And then I just wake up and whoa, there's the time, So I go through that. Or it's 12:12, So that's another one. I even had one that went to I don't do military at all, but it was on something else, and it was a 1414. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Oh, it was how could I forget that, right? The other miracle of the washer and dryer room. Okay, so that was 3 years ago with or 2 years. I'm sorry, 2 years ago, because I was seeing all the 11 started 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago, I know PTSD. Okay, and then 2 years ago, I know scrambled. Yeah, I got it. Okay, yeah. Valium. Yeah, I know. So 2 years ago, yes, I'm human. I want to survive. So 2 years ago, that's when that happened. My anger against the universe, And then now you get it. And then, okay. So then 2 months ago, I was just sitting on the couch. I started the washer. I know the washer and dryer. So I started the washer, started the dryer. Washer again, it starts hour and 38 usually because I do this certain setting. And then, I can't remember the dryer, 57 or 54 or 59, I don't know, somewhere in the 50s. I go back, shut the door, I go back, watch TV. I get up at some point, and there's 11 minutes left on the washer and 11 minutes left on the dryer. And I just thought, wow, I was like, okay, you mean that? Okay, so I was just like, whoa. And then just recently, last week, it was that was the 1414. It was there's 14 minutes. I know, same thing happened, right? I just walked in, there's 14 minutes. There were different times and 14, so I had a 1414 like that. Now that was a rare one because I never do the military times. I always just do the 12 and then it starts at 1. It doesn't go 13, 14. So I never see a 1414 or I might see it go by on a time thing or something like that. Like a 4444. Something like that. But I never had a 14, like the 11. So, those things, those reminders. And then I start seeing it everywhere you go. See, everything's a miracle. Everybody's our greatest teacher in that moment. See, the blue moon is every moment. See, those synchronicities that's a blue moon. Every moment is a blue moon. This planet could be ionized. 8 billion souls will have to be relocated on other dense planets like this, so not as advanced. We're a unique concoction. We have been watched over for over 250,000 years, million in development. Atlantis went down with that machine that malfunctions, and the Bermuda. That's why those. See, if picture like a portal swinging, occasionally in a current that just caught it, and then the ship happened to be, and it went through a portal. That's sort of the malfunction of the machine. But see, we want to know that, how does it look and what does it function, And they could move things with their minds, and rocks, how they can smooth them and things like that. And there's technologies, and also, see, there is advanced, and yes, this planet interacts with other beings on other worlds. Yes, this is happening. Why on the moon is that little thing on Apollo 8, 1968, Click on that video. I don't know, I just taped it from YouTube because, I don't know where it was, but I got it from YouTube. And I just put it there so you could see it. That's how, and talking about it. So that, they were just surveying that, Apollo 8, right? Going around in the pictures, and they caught the little chimney with the smoke. Hello? Okay, 1969 is when we flew to the moon. Yes, both sides are true. Both sides are true. Yes, they did do some filming. Yes, because on the other side, yes, aliens. Oh, we say aliens, see, from the movies, but other beings. You want to get politically correct. Other beings were watching. Us in the tin can out there, See, it's a shame we send astronauts today on rockets that explode. See, we don't have to do that. See, there's anti-gravity, as you will. But see, they don't want that because they go 20,000 miles an hour, deliver a missile. Oh, great. See, that's just the way we think. See, that's a worry. I'd worry too. If I was the government, I'd worry about that. Someone uses it as a weapon instead of with space travel and and doing things like humanely. See, we're here for an incarnation cycle. Let's just get to it. So we can go off on all those things. See, we can't get over ourselves that we have DNA within us from other beings. Right away, you're lost. Right away, we want to anchor on to that polka dot sky. Whatever it is, I anchor, and that's okay. See, if I'm in a religion looking at another religion, if that religion's like telling someone to kill specifically, or they say in the name of my religion, but other people in the religion aren't using it, and it's, so there's some in that religion that are true, pure hearts. True, just like in any religion, right? There's true, pure hearts, and there's true, judgmental hearts. Looking at the other one, saying, my way is the way that you will be saved and free. You need to do this to go here. You have to think this way. See, this is what we're programmed to, the sky. This is what was written. Don't challenge. This is sacred ground. See, we think, 100 years ago, how did people think? How do people record things? 500 years, 1,000? We find things in these tablets and things, very old, and then we find different things, and, this kind of doesn't explain the narrative of over here. See, we love our narratives. See, we're in a fishbowl of narratives. You want to talk about Operation Fishbowl is within your mind. That's the fishbowl. See, you can say the stars are portals. You can say the stars are suns. See, that's you can reflect. See, the frustrations, that's part of the humanity in us. See, we get frustrated, and that's an ingredient of hate. See, so I say, I'm aware that I got frustrated. It's just about being aware of our own self. See, that's the key. You want the key? The mirror. Look at yourself. You say, look at yourself in the mirror. We point fingers. We think we're clever. See, we think we're clever, but there's that 3 point back, and we put our hand out, and we want followers, and we think certain things and act certain ways because of technologies and our friends and the rivers that we're in. But silently, we could be dust. Anytime our sun could go nova and just like that, not right, not wrong, it could just happen. And then what? See, that's why, it's beautiful, the creation we created on, my dear friend, my mentor that passed away, that I'm in contact with. See, you're a creator. You can create something, a karmic choice to release the karma, to be a creator of love. You can turn your own Titanic in that area. See, you're eternal being. You will never die. You can never be captured. You can't be any more spiritual than you already are. See, if you're thinking that we always want to be a little more, then see, if we grab the sand, we'll think, or go to the ocean, right? Like I was baptized, very dramatical, I feel it. I didn't really feel, I come up, somebody was crying. I don't know. I just, right? I'm a little detached. It's cold. Other fishermen are, I don't, it's what we build up in our minds. See, every moment is precious. When you time jump, and your preciousness is that you put that love, like if you were to pass away, wouldn't you just want to be present one more time and say, oh my God, I just put all this love in you, and I appreciate you as you, and I see you, and I love you as you. You don't have to do anything different. You're so precious as you are. Look at your little giggle and the way you react and everything. You just adore. See, you adore. You're in that moment of love. See, that's about being present. That's what we learn. See, but what we learn is the programming of hate, because we watch news and we pick sides and we forget ourselves, see. And we incarnate again because of this. See, a homeless person is paying back lifetimes of karma. People wait for handicapped bodies to pay back lifetimes of karma. Sometimes beings love this earth so much, they'll take on a harder life. They'll interact and switch a role. Because they love, just like your child over the tracks. So you have no idea the level of love on the other side. We think it's unlimited. We have locked our minds in ways that we can't even unlock it on the other side. See, someone will say, that's true, that's right, that's right, that's right. Go wherever you are. Don't say, I need to change you and fix you and you're wrong. Don't point fingers. It doesn't matter. It matters how you react. Just react in kindness and empathy. Oh, they didn't listen to me. See, I have an ache in my body. You know, I shared something, I have an ache. And then right away they say, oh, I have aches too. They're all over me. See, the first thing would have been, I'm sorry you have an ache, Daryl. You know, let me just see it healed right now. You know, well, it's not, it still aches and your power didn't work. See, we always think the power, we're always looking for someone to heal because it happened over here and they're claiming it. But it's happening over other areas too. Know that they're claiming it as well. They're claiming the law of gravity just like you are. They're claiming the law of breath, just like you are, breathing in the stardust of the universe. The photons from the sun is charging, I'm telling you, that shower. When wind hits you and rain and auras can happen. See, you can clean off negativities. Oh, I take a shower, I feel refreshed, I have a shower, I had hot water. How lucky your furnace didn't break to heat the water, you know. That you had pressure to have water. That it was comfortable. See, we just take things for granted and we forget, you know, that we're walking and we have sight. See, a blind person is paying back karma in so many ways because other people are learning from the blind person as well. See, you see these fantastic talents and people are blind and you can't even do the talent you can see, right? And you see, these are karmatic waves of paying back. See, they want to shine a goodness out. So they take a life like that they're blind. See, we pick these lives. They say, how could that be? How now you're really out there. But see, some people get this. See, and there's quotes and there's things and you could say, you know, see what happens is you just tune out. Your eyes will glaze over. I'm on overload. So that's why, see, you listen to it back and you can listen to this back 10 times and your mind will be unlocked 10 more times. Because that's our nature. See, our nature is the programming that we came through the womb, you know. And we rely on AI. You know, AI, you know, give me a new arm, AI. Well, you know what? There's been beings that can grow an arm. You'll be able to do that, like the lizard tail. See, the mind will be able to do all of that. You're a creator. See, this is the greatest yin and yang effect ever. Rubber band effect, if you will. Polarity shift. They say it's moving in the, you know, the fourth and fifth dimension. See, we use these. So you can create something so you can't create with hate. But you can. You can say, I never hate and all these things. And I just watch the news and I can just feel it surge. I get to see the lies, you know, and the distortion. I love it when they say, here are the facts, you know. And here are the facts, and here are the real facts. But the facts have been, and sometimes it's real, and sometimes it's not. It's not. See, they play a very good game. They're very good. A live event. Tape the channels. Tape the channels that they're speakers. Someone you hate, let's say, is a leader, and they have speakers with them, like talking about a story that happened to their child. And you take a live event that they taped. Both sides, you know, and of course we know the president on this side, this channels are going to record. So the other channel will record it to a point, and then they'll dip out and dip in. And see, they dip out when they can, if they can catch it. See, they're not, and they catch it at good times. They know, this speaker, we know her story. We don't want to humanize too much. See, we want to keep that dehumanization going. We want to keep that crossfire. We want to keep you programmed in hate because it's justifiable. And look what this person has done and how they support this. And therefore, I'm going to raise my fist. See, we get lost in. But no, you can say, don't stand up for justice. See, we can get down in the weeds. Like, no, of course you're going to stand up for justice. Of course. It's how you stand. It's how you see it. It's how it takes control of you, see, in the circumstance. See, every case is different because every human being looks different and is different and produces different. We're all creators and we don't even know it. That you can create, you can create galaxies spinning out of your hands. You can have suns shooting out of your hands. You can take two suns and compress them within your hands and create a massive light of love. So you can do these things, this energy work. Oh my goodness, I'm way over. Synchronicities. I mean, you pay attention to all of those, and then you see the pieces of the puzzles in the movies, and then something will unlock your mind. It's when your mind gets blown. And Synchronicities did do that. They sort of blew my mind. I mean, my mind was already, spinning and, depression. And, here's how it feels to be depressed for hours and hours, Here's what it's like to feel like a failure in ways. A fool. Yeah, there's some of that in there. Oh, and that still pops up here and there, It can come up, and you walk along. See, our teachers are the ones we're having a frustration with right now. Whoever we hate is our greatest teacher. Whoever we're frustrated is. Whoever is doesn't get us. See, we expect something, always. See, if you're a creator of love, see, on the other side, like I said, the train track, on this side, the train tracks, right? You'll lay down for your child, or you'll lay down for your brother, right? Or your sister, or, you'll sacrifice your life for the good. Same thing with the other side. See, they could take a role on this side to help so much. They know, see, and you can say, how is that possible with time? See, there's contracts made and negotiated. I know time is such an interesting concept. You can get lost in that. All right. You're probably thinking, God complex, going against things. When I go to my wife's, it's a province out of the United States into another country, and it's a province. And, there's a place they go, and there's a statue they call it the miraculous statue. I forgot, she could explain it better, but we always want to know more detail. There's people that give you plenty of details on everything. So I just, they touch the statue, and then I go by, and it's like, oh, well, I've never touched a statue. I don't touch statues. Or I said, oh yeah, I'll just. So when I touch the statue, I said, okay, I'm just going to touch the statue, and I'm going to send energy from the sun, the photons, and charge it into the earth, into the center, and put it into a centrifugal force of gravity, and then put it back up, back into the statue. So when other people touch their hands on it, it will unlock their eyes when they cry, and it'll connect to their heart more, see? And then they'll unprogram the hate and become the eternal creator that they're meant to be, see? So that's the energy that I would release. So see, when you go along, see, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. Exactly. It's so funny when I think I have to go faster or slower. I think I have to get somewhere or not. I have to hurry. Yes, I have to hurry. It's interesting. Like things disappear. Like where are my keys? I know I set them right here. I look. And then they're there. See, we go in dimensional shifts too sometimes. So that could really blow your mind. Talk about a portal. Fast track lane being open, going early, fast track. Oh, it's open. Oh, that's weird. I know it was soon to be open, I think. It's open. Driving. Then I didn't know where I was. Taking my wife to work. And then the GPS, I didn't know what freeway, I couldn't write, And then I was like, okay, let me just GPS work. Okay, I was like 3 miles past on a different freeway. It was so weird. But, that was a time adjustment. So we can look at dimensional shifts. We shift in and out. See, it's like, it's time. It's how we look at perceive ourselves and reflect with the mirror. It's like, we know we're not perfect, of course. I'm going to make mistakes, act like an idiot. Ego comes out, runs in my... But do I catch it? Do I see it? Do I just see the subtleties of negative programming? Little intricacies, little hooks that hang on the side for dear life, of hate. See, to just anchor you, crawl you back up because you're more comfortable, see? Because there's people there that support, and you feel better as a person. That's what we're told. But it's insulting to our intelligence and our being's intelligence to be told who to hate, how to hate, and what to hate, and how much to hate, and just to hate. See, because of this, you should hate. Because of this, see, they don't want to say the good things, because then that would, see, they want to keep the dehumanization going. But that's not my candidate. That's not my side. And you don't understand. And he's taking this, or she's taking that. See, we can get into that, and we forget ourselves. See, that's why leaders and newscasters, newscasters above all, leaders come and go, but, well, some leaders seem to stay there for 40 years. That should be changed. Jeez. Here, you want one thing, change that. Yeah, term limits on those people too. Yeah, all House and Senate. There you go. Yeah, term limits. Okay, let's give them 3. We'll make them feel more special than the president. President gets 2. Let's give them 3 terms. Max. You're maxed out spiritually already. So you think you are already maxed out spiritually, okay? You don't have to reach for something. You don't have to read for something. I know, listening to music, to go to the ocean, you feel more spiritual. But know that you're already maxed out. You're already spiritual. You're an eternal being forever. You're a creator of yourself. Yes, you're a spark of the source. You're a spark of the source. The ocean is in the drop. That's you. The source is in the spark. That's you. Just like the beam planet. That's a spark. That's a large spark beam. See, we're going to do comparisons now and how I look and how I act. See, then we come back to our limited selves and ourselves and our human body and our containers, if you will. It's a little joke for the other side. For a beings, not for a beings. See, we think we're so close to God. We think we're so close, and yet we're so far. And yet we are. We're even closer. See, that's why we're created with other beings' DNA in us. Hello. See, they're so close. They're incarnating in the cycle. There's not the dynamic of free will as we have here. See, there's not the chaos that's going on here and the suffering like that. See, this planet's unique experiment of carnation cycles to overcome your carnation. See, people say there's no carnation. I don't believe that. I don't have the faith in that because, well, they're believing in that. See, they're believing whatever they're taught. If they're taught nothing and they think, how do you know? How do you prove? All these books are, this is this, you're contradicting and you're not part. Look, you breathe, you have eyes, you cry. Your heart is felt. You're a being that lives. Now, if you don't believe you're a creator, you know it now and you'll come back again and fix some other stuff and then come back. See, it's a little less. Right now, just being alive in this consciousness level, you are paying back lifetimes of karma. Right now. You can pay back 100 lifetimes, 1,000. In this life, you can pay back 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000. You can pay back a planet exploding of karmic cataclysmic waves. See, we limit ourselves in this body. So we each have a talent, just like sensing if someone codes. See? We doubt. We have this doubt because, if you don't think this way. See, we want to anchor on because this is happening here. And I put my hand out and I blew this person back, and three rows back this person flew out of my hand because the commandment of energy. See, there are spiritual sources that people use, but they're claiming it more on their side, even though it can happen on any side. The power of love, the power of healing. See, we go through these karmic waves. Essentially, we make ourselves sick. Essentially. See, I've said so many things that I can see why, like, I can say it. But you know what? It's like, it's okay. See, it's okay that I'm human. And it's okay to have these problems, right? I can still think and I can still dream. Hold on to that. See, they say, if there's one thing you could take away that you have a heart. See, your eyes will tear up and just know. See, it's a forgiveness. See, you forgive yourself. It's okay. See, it's like freeing yourself without any webbings of anything. They just took you off the planet and put you in a garden. See, we always want to go to a garden, a peaceful place of love. See, when we pass away, we have this pie in the sky. See, everything's a school, and we can see when we pass away, like a near-death NDE, or the near-death experience. See, we don't know how long that tunnel light is. See. We just think like the Stargate, I look on the other side, it looks like the light, from this side, they go through the tunnel, and it's a long tunnel. So we go through, and we think we might have gone through the tunnel, and we came out the other side. Or we saw it within the light. See, we didn't go quite through. See, we were still connected to, see, when you come back, I don't care. You could have been dead in the body, they're in the body bag, it's zipped, and, they put it, they're still alive. It's like, what? 14 hours later, or whatever it was, right? I don't know. I don't have the exact time, but I heard a story like that. Or somebody comes back, And then they report. See, if you have visions of terror, those will fall off if you were to go all the way through. See, it's traumatic. Like if you were to be walking along the street and all of a sudden died, you would know that. You picked this life for karmic reasons and contracts and negotiations, but what happens is the beam hits you, you keep walking. You don't even know that you got whacked because it's a traumatic event and you died. I mean, a freak accident. I'm just describing a situation that can happen. You can walk along. See, that's why, don't take your life. That creates karmatic events and karmatic waves that it's harder. So, well, I don't care. Life is miserable and everything, and I just can't. Well, there's what it is like higher self there. Here, take that energy level. Yeah, and let me put some juice on it. And here's what it feels like, the anger, and here, it's still going on. Here, the length of time, there, still going. And I might feel that for a while, for hours, But maybe then I put on some music or something, And then an ad comes on and bothers me. And I said, that's interesting. See, when something happens that derails you, like a flat tire, here's how you handle life. Flat tire, you would say something like, how about that? Or, something like that. Or that's special. I'm really late now. Now that's special. So, like, how do you know that flat tire didn't save you and was a change, a karmatic? Wow, okay, 3 ones and a 0 1. Now that was interesting on the clock. Okay, I'm not looking at the timer. I just looked and it was okay. So synchronicity. I know I'm way over now. Wow. Okay, 1 1 1 1. Okay, that was weird. I'm not going to look anymore. I just see that's what happened to me, and I went crazy because of the PTSD and the Okay, I know. Breathe. See the anxiety. See, I have to manage all that. See these downloads, okay, frequencies, high pitches. I know I have these thoughts, but look, I can finish all those thoughts. I don't even worry about it. I can go dive down later. Look, it's like, you see the truth. You can wake me up at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. It's the same story. Unless I have Alzheimer's and forget, or I'm just, I'm scattered. I could get something wrong. We do illusions and we think we may see something. So there is these things going on, So it's like, we have to hold back the reins, because there's a lot going on spiritually. See, we think we have to be more spiritual. See, climb the mountain knowing you're already as spiritual as you can get and enjoy it. See, be present. Enjoy the beauty, the flowers, the fragrances. See, it's not so much about the flowers, it's the water, it's the air, it's the earth, it's the soil, it's the manure. See, it's all of those things. That flowers and fragrances come. See, we have to get beyond the logical mind. So we have to think beyond our soul trap. They talk about soul traps. That's what soul traps are, is negative programming. So we can listen to people and think, like, what are they going to say next? Did they see a world of jello? Did they declare something, calling a UFO an imp, perhaps? They just didn't quite, because it goes against and they believe. See, these paradigms that we're locked in our beliefs, we hold tight. Like a pyramid that lasts thousands of years, these life cycles will create. See, when a person passes away, they'll say, I played the role of this person. A minister, a preacher, a fireman, a janitor, I was a homeless person. I played this role. I created this, a book, or, I'm here. I'm doing it, right? You look back at your life, a life review. You're going to see things from other people's eyes that you did. If you did something horrible and you went to prison, you know it, like you killed and this and that, you're going to see that from the family's eyes, all the pain, all of that pain. It's hard. Believe me, it's hard. It's hard to look at that. It's hard. You're going to see it from their eyes, and you're going to say, I did that. See, your higher self will send you back. It's just that simple. See, there's not see, we always want, where's it written? Where? Inside your spirit, when you cry, does someone have to tell you to connect to your heart? Does someone have to tell you to look with compassion and empathy? No, people program you to hate because they're not on your side. So you're afraid to even say anything because of the divisions, divide and conquer. How do you take over the United States? From the inside. Divide and conquer with hate. They say the oldest profession, right, is what? Is sex? No, the oldest profession is what? Is hate, violence. And sex was part of course, but it was the hate, the ruling, the hitting someone, the grabbing the food, the survival is the oldest. You could stay there, reproduce, but just to survive. It didn't even, if you didn't have food, you didn't care about anything. You're starving, you're laying there. See, we take everything, we open our refrigerator, we don't even think about it. See, we don't think about somebody starving for food, but what can I do? What would be my last act? My last act is think of myself as giving light then. I will reflect the mirror's light. I will capture the sun in the mirror and reflect that light. I will look at myself in the mirror, reflect that as I am, my beautiful self, I will see. I will fall in love with everybody is beautiful. See, like that. So you just look out like that with your eyes. See, no one has to tell you that. See, when you go see a play and in a theater and in the dramatics of it, or a soap opera, there's parts like, well, why would they, and then there's parts where you just get lost and your mind soars, Phantom of the Opera music, So, and then we start to say, well, I wouldn't listen to that, or it might have a tone here. Nothing can capture you. Nothing. You are an eternal being that lives forever. You're in a being. Now, in a body, your consciousness. You're mastering these emotions, these feelings, the juice of life, because you're a creator. You want to create something with love. How do you do that? With the balances. That's why this planet is going to be a freeway full of souls coming here in 1,000 years, with the flag waving like that. We'll still have the symbol of our flags, but we'll lay them down in the sense of war. We won't have that division and divide like we have within our own country. See, we already had civil wars. We have civil wars. We hope there's not another one. We see the polarity shift in the violence. You wear a color on you. You're labeled immediately of this, and it brings up this hate. And is that what we want to do to our spirits? See, we walk around like that. We can think all self-righteous. See, who do you think you are? You think you're a God? You're telling us that we're all gods? Yes, you're all creators. There's 8 billion creators on here. We'll all get there eventually. Eventually, you'll go off to different planets. This planet will not last here forever. I mean, getting a lot of 911s. This sun is so charged with photons. They say, well, how can you say that? Nothing, all timelines are not written though. See, you can see things. See, the more energy current, you would say. The tidal wave, you say an asteroid hits the earth and creates this tidal wave event. There is more energy off of Niagara Falls to run this whole planet from free energy. Just by that top of Niagara Falls, you could run this whole planet with free energy. See, things have to be humanely rolled out with free energy. Like a power company. See, power companies, right? Power companies, you get a bill. Everybody, most, okay. Some don't even have power companies. They're in there with firewood and trying to, let's say the ones that have power piped in by lines or gas, right? Gas and electricity, power companies, jobs, 20,000 people here work here, retirements, families. Free energy comes along. It can be regulated. See, governments can humanely, there are people that can help that are in these fields that talked about this, that's made videos of awareness, of disclosures. And you can say some things are like, do we want to know full disclosure? Can we handle it mentally because of the religion, see, and what people believe? See, and even the other beings' DNA in us. See, we want to believe in certain things. See, think about it. We have a canine tooth. We interact with other beings from this planet. There's things going on right now. There's other life forms. Beings. And it's unfortunate that the government within the government, we'll say it that way, that you could say the trans government of the earth. The ones that have the anti-gravity capabilities. See. The ones that control that technology. See, do you think it's an accident how our technology went in 50 years to stealth? And the subs with the skin around, $250 million for that coating, for the pressure and the resistance and the resilience of it. I mean, it's almost like impenetrable, So, you hit a rock or something, nothing's going to happen, So, see, these things are going on. Around us, tunnels, speedways from our bases. That's fine, good. We live in this type of, I'm way over, and I'm way lost. See, this is it. We want to go those routes, and there's plenty of people that can go those routes. See? And we can go down those routes. But see, we forget our humanity. We're human, Humyn. See, we forget this. Look, I have no notes. I just have a little oatmeal left. I'm I'm a slow eater. We forget to breathe and the breath and the transference and that up yin and yang in us. To recognize our own. See, when you time jump, you're in your heart and your eyes. See, when you time jump, you're in that moment. That's your time jump. You're in your eyes. Your eyes are watered. See, when you realize love for your child, just imagine, they're still there. You think how some children, they go to work and they don't come back and why did this happen to my child? Why did this happen? See, I'm a good person. I'm living this life. See, and you are, as you know. See, it's hard to know that because we don't know. See, you want to shift things right now? Your past lives. past lives. See, when things pop up in my life, I try to resolve it right there. I just want, push it away, but no, I'm just going, you know what? I'm just going to healing light. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that's how it was to act like a liar, a fool. I stole something there. That shouldn't have happened. Yeah, that's wrong. That's what that feels like. See, that person was looking for that, and I took it, and that was, or I said this, and I caused pain here because of my arrogance. Things like that you think are meaningless, and they're just small little thoughts, and they drift in and out. So if something comes in a little more, I say, well, I'm just going to resolve that one. Just start, and then you start resolving it. It's just like walking along, being present. When things happen like a flat tire, oh yeah, how about that? Now that's special. Okay, when people talk like, oh, that's interesting. See, I want that my first response, like interesting. Like I hear a YouTube video and I'm thinking to myself, well, wow, that's a little nuts. I mean, okay, they're in tune there, they're not there, they're distorted there. I start judging and it's like, I think I know something that they don't, and then I might know something they don't. How do I approach that? With empathy. So I just put energy in, and I'm saying, I just see it a little, maybe I see that a little differently, So I'm just going to transfer some energy in that awakening, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they're seeing it right and I'm wrong. See, so you just sort of start looking at things through the mirrors like that, see? And then you can sort through the distortions. Then you'll know, see? I'm programming hate. Don't tell me who to hate. My eyes will crystallize. It's connected to my heart. Our memories are like little antennas, little receptors, neurons, connected. Wow. Oh, 911. That is so weird. I should just take a screenshot. I just see so many 911s. I don't know. That's going to stop this probably. No, it's still recording. How weird. So 911 in the corner. Wow. I just keep seeing. Okay. Oh, wow, okay. That was weird. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. I know. Okay. Wow. Okay, so it's the miracles of every moment. It's like, see, I forget that we get caught up in the hate and the TV and we want to know what's going on. That's tragic, and the news will put it down your throat. See, everybody will stuff something down it. You can't stop somebody stuffing something in your subconscious. You can't. See, after listening to this unlocks everything, subconsciously. See, you can say, well, when I have a dream. See, when you leave your body, you do that. When your body's tired, you're not in your, see, you move, and sometimes you mumble, but you have left your body, see. Your spirit, you're sleeping. Your consciousness, in other words. Well, sometimes I talk in my sleep. Yes, you interact back. Yeah, but you're conscious that you could be visiting other places in this world, other dimensions, other beings. You're a creator of. You live forever. You can never die. You were never born, and you never die. So you live forever. There's nothing you have to do to save yourself. See, I know you want to save yourself because this is so hard. This is a hard life. Yes, save me. Please, save me from this misery that I'm in. Yes, and see how easy that is. And here we go. Here, come on in. It's work. See how happy people are? And people are getting happy. And they're following it because it's a structure. It's a structure, and we don't condemn it. I don't condemn it. Just because I have a different thought. We could talk to the Vatican in the chapters they left out. Why do you think Jesus, 17 years missing? He was going around in India learning Reiki and different things, different healing techniques. I say something like that, and somebody says, well, see, we want to look at TV as everything pop and miracle, like Star Trek. They just energize and you just appear. Yes, there are beings that can walk through walls and different dimensional shifts. So you can go down these roads. See, they're afterthoughts of trying to get out of some races are dying out there. They're dying. See, some of that DNA is in us. See, when they die, they can jump out and incarnate into certain levels, and then they can come here. This is the roll of the dice. This is the hardest one because we get stuck. See, we get stuck by the wars and the violence and the robberies and the murders and the rapes and the violations and etc. and the pain. But yet there's the beauty in these art and the love and the giving and the helping. These other sides. See, there's always these polarities going on. The newscasters. See, the newscasters sit there with their smug face and they get paid, millions of dollars, tens of millions. Some of them astounding contracts, $60 million, for 5 years of an hour, 5 days a week. And maybe I come on other shows, and then they can just come in there and just lay on their lines and you just bathe in it like a bathtub, and then you just think, well, I know, but their side is so wrong and look at them hate, and they're hating more than I am. And it's the craziest thing. It's the craziest conundrum. It's amazing. It's amazing. That to get stuck like that and forget yourself, to forget the spouse. See, you hear the stories. Oh, politically we're divided in the house. It's amazing. Some work. Somewhere it's about tolerating, accepting. See, these are our greatest teachers. See, if you have a situation like that, see, you can go right to the head of the class in creator school. You have already been everything. If you can master those type of emotions, I guarantee you can move energy, and you're a creator. And you can create the universe you want. You could create a type of life and visions you see, but of goodwill. See, you project hate here. This is where all that goes on. Here. See, when you die, you take the love. See, but the pain is the remorse and the regret on the other side. So, see, I repeat, but see, we forget. See, that's why you can just close your eyes and listen and remember who you are. See, you're a being to master your heart. I say, well, the cruelty. Yes, if someone breaks in my house, I will defend myself. Yes, I will. If someone tries to hit me, yes, I will try to use the 2.5 years of karate my sensei, taught me way back when. I will try to do the best I can, to defend myself. Oh, I'm just going to let, Gandhi had something with the soldiers, the absurdity. See, it was to show the absurdity, at least in the movie, we're shown movies and things. I saw the movie, based on a, right? We think based on a true story or part, it's like, is it organic? Is it natural flavors that we use? Like it's natural, but it's not organic. And, so we can get our minds so lost in the weeds. See, but the Gandhi soldiers, they just turn their mind. They turn to Gandhi, because they know the next row, right? Bang, right? From the other soldiers, right? And some soldiers, I don't want to get hit like that. Look at my buddy, he just went down. And Gandhi's like, no, just see the absurdity. They just see, and the soldiers like, man, I just can't keep walking, right? Bang, right? See, the absurdity, the hypocrisy that we live in with our own mind and what we do to people and demonize, dehumanize. See, if it's on our side, we let it go and it's okay. See, we say, oh, that person's going to get away with it. Here's a guarantee. Nobody gets away with anything. That I'm going to religiousize it and you're going to get beat up and all this stuff. We go, look, you're the judge of yourself. And if you say, oh, that's good, great, I'm just going to have it easy. Well, guess what? You're probably going to have to come around again thinking like that because that's the ego, that's the arrogance talking. See, once we realize that we're in it, see, this is the greatest mastery. You want to go through the highest school, Earth. That's why some beings don't even want to come here. They're like, oh, you're going to Earth to help. Man, you are a warrior. Just like my wife wants to come back here and help and do a certain kind of thing, a warrior. Women are more intuitive. See, I don't want to come back anymore. I don't. I want to fix as much as I can. They say, well, sometimes it's hard to fix everything. You could turn your whole Titanic. And maybe you don't turn it. Maybe you just turn a little bit. You keep acting out, and I did it again. See, we beat ourselves up. Take the boxing gloves off. See, there's a lot of things that our mind does, and we believe from childhood. And we're told because of the schools and what we're taught. And, and we can talk about with the genders, okay? Incarnating as let's say you incarnated as a man, and maybe you never incarnated as a woman before. And so you kept incarnating as men because you liked those roles. You kept picking those roles. So it's time. There's a universal balance. And we have this right and wrong on this side. On the other side, it's all about energy. And it's all about love. And it's about creation. It's acceptance of building. So that's what people want to know. Well, why am I gay? Or why am I bisexual? Or why am I a lesbian? Or why don't I, like any of it? Or what, and we go through these things like that in our head. And the reason is because of our karma, our cycles of karma, of how many men and what's the number? Is it 50? Is it 100? And then we have these sides. Is it this much amount? Then you're this way. Look, you have to be everything. If you're all races and you're all religions, that means you have to be all sexes. That's right. Everything, every combination like that. That's right. You have to be everything. You say, what do you mean? How can I? That's not right. It's not written here. It's not this way. We're See, we could get in this because we're taught. We're taught. See, that's why the other side. See, that's why the paradigms are so locked. We can't get over ourselves. We can't even get over ourselves that there's other DNA from other beings within us in the canine tooth that we have. We just dismiss it. See, we dismiss it, just like we dehumanize. See, you have a spirit already. You're already spiritual. See, you can't get any more spiritual. See, you feel more spiritual maybe now because something's unlocked. See, but already know that you are already unlocked. You're already a spiritual being. You're maxed out. You're just learning how to manage the emotions and realizing there's lag time, drag time on emotions. See, our mind can instantly change. You can forgive someone, 2 seconds, they're forgiven maybe before, even when they're doing it, you're forgiving them because you just love them and you know that's the way they are and they can't help it. So you can even get to that point where they're forgiven as they talk. Even if it's an irritating thing that would just irritate your inner child, and your child just takes the keys to the car and see, thoughts are like that. Put them on the train. A dog walking by, use spirit animals. They'll take it for you. You know. I mean, I saw a whale go by. I mean, that was just incredible. So, how did you know? I mean, and then the horse. There's this horse. Every time I go outside, it's just this beautiful horse. I don't know. It's like the most loving scene from Heartland, you know. And then they take it, you know. I can't watch it on Netflix. Oh, you know. See, we get used to certain things, and here's someone starving it. Look, I just go with it. You know, it's like we think we missed something. We think we're in a hurry. See, you're exactly. See, if you go let the universe pass, you heard that, like the world comes to you, right? Like, right, the mountain to Muhammad, right? How about the mountain to you? You just let the universe pass through you. You just hold your arms out and just let everything pass through you. Eyes swirling around you. See, everything around you. See, you don't need to go. You're you. See, you've lived forever. You're a being. You're a creator. See, it's a fact. You will leave this body. It's a fact. You'll leave this body. You'll take the love. But see, do you want to? How much remorse and regret do you want to take? Fix it. Just. In your mentally, just do it mentally. You don't have to go up and confess it. See, we have this thing and just, you know, a 4-step and just, you know, give it to them. And it might hurt them. It might hurt them. Just do it all mentally first. Just do it all that. Act like light reflecting from the mirror first. And do that for a year before you go start on your high horse. You know, I'm going to confess everything, you know, and gallop along. See, we're programmed to, see, we're not sensitive. We can't read the room. We can't even read our partner sometimes. See. We can't even read a person in a store. I was in a conveyor belt full of food, and the person was behind me with one item, you know, and I just said, you know, yeah, go ahead. I said, I can't imagine, you know, to him, just waiting with one item, you know. And then, you know, and I did that in the past. I'll tell you, before, you know, and we talked, and a good time, and he left, and he was happy. But one time that happened to me in the past, I did that. I let someone ahead, and they were having problems with their card, and that one working the credit card, and lady, and, you know, there was a problem, and they had to get the manager because I let this person go in front of me, you see. See, that was a lesson for me, and I learned, and I was just like, someone coming behind me, I said, I think you're in the wrong line, you know. And that's it. I mean, you know, and it was a lesson of my patience. See, it was a lesson of my, you say, how can I have patience with all this anxiety? See, there's so much to cover. See, they call it channeling or LinkedIn. Yes, this is a period. See, this is a period where I'm linked in. They like that LinkedIn, you know, LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, all that stuff. You know, we want to know everything about everybody. You know, do internet searches, you know, see their political parties, you know, under mylife.com. You know, see their information, their records. You know, let's hold people accountable on what they did so we can point the finger further. You know, let's tear down somebody, even though they're trying to do good on some things. Maybe they don't have it down right. Maybe people can help in those areas with more kindness. See, when both sides go, oh, but I'm giving and giving, the other side doesn't give. See, that use the Gandhi. It is really down to the Gandhi mentality on that one right there. See, it's hard to take the pain. Look at all those people that took the pain like that. I mean, just standing in line. Would soldiers do that today, I wonder? Just lined up like that. You kind of, that's a good question, isn't it? I wonder. Line our soldiers up like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. No. That was a different time. See, just like things were written in a different time. See, at that time, people could only understand certain things. Just like your mind is blown, think about how 200 years ago, the Salem witch trials, right? 100 years, whatever, right? The little kids and stuff were the, the predictors of who lives and who dies as a witch, you know. I mean, these thoughts that can come in and race and what we believe. And when we die and we come back and report, that's great. I like to know, sure. But it won't hold. If it's a treacherous, see, the treacherous ones just won't hold. Now, the ones that are good hold better because that's a better transference, more distance in the light. You know. Now, someone could say, I went through the whole light, man, and I came back and I was in the rock, it was the pits of hell, and, you know. And see, there's a mind that needs to still be locked too. See, and it's like, why isn't everybody healed? See, that person is going through a karmic cycle. This is the good one of all. Why didn't Jesus heal everybody in that, right? But see, there'll be people that claim that. Right away, they'll call me a liar and the devil. And okay, so, but there's people that have karmic events, and just like newscasters, okay? There's a newscaster way back in history, a karmic wave like that, from there, that newscaster, still today, they're still living. They still, just like us. We're still learning. See, we're in school. See, we like to judge. Oh, they're worse. No, they have a greater responsibility because they're our leaders. See, we just look and like ideologies. We don't look at heart. See, we just look at hate, and we like to get charged up because people run to it and they gravitate and you get a vote. See, so that's how the system's sort of working right now. See, it's working. But when you change yourself, see, how can I change the world? I change it by the way I interact with my spouse, my child, my pet, with the environment that I interact with letting in someone on the freeway. I'm not perfect. I will still probably, somebody cut me off and it'll trigger. See, PTSD, man, those are good teachers too. Wow. The anger could just pop up and wow, that's a surge. That's a volcanic surge of just anger. There you go, higher self. That's what that feels like. I don't want that in my creation. That's for sure. And it still feels yucky and I still feel horrible and shamed or whatever, or whatever weird feeling or shameful or guiltful or horrible. See, those are the feelings that can really drag us down and hate, see, and weight us down. See, I just give that, I'm trained. Higher self will take it. And a spirit animal, pets are we hug our pets, see, they're great. They're great channelers because they're more connected. See, they just give unconditional love to you. Well, unless they say they're a mean dog and they bite. Well, what about that? See, everybody has an opposite. Okay, about a mean dog. So you have a mean dog. So why is that dog mean? Why is that dog mean dog? Just why is there a mean person? There's a consciousness developing. So it's the same fundamentals. They're just different conscious levels. And we like to break it down in books and what chapter and where's this said and who said that and point to this picture and airbrush this out. Or now it's in now. Now we can handle a little more truth. Full disclosure is really humanity disclosing. The government isn't going to say at this particular moment, say, yeah. There's a little things popping out. Believe me, they didn't want certain things that they know they can't control. Certain things, and they know things are going on in there. So it's sporadic. And they let certain people just be and let information out. Certain things, you wonder why like movies are created, like Spielberg. These thoughts are coming down from, they're planted in. See, we think we're here first. There are other beings, thousands of other beings. We have other beings within our body. They created us and genetically altered us over 60 times. We have a miracle of an incarnation cycle, unbelievable to theirs, because it involves a creation of creation itself. That's the beautiful part about it. It's consciousness of love merging into a physical state without a physical pain. In other words, it's like the other side, like a rose on the other side, like your breath, how it goes in and out, that moment of light switch, the in and out. That rose, like you could be a rose on this side, it didn't last long. It was beautiful, it smelled great. See, the peak of the smell is like the middle of your breath is like on the other side. The maximum fragrance is on the other side in that rose. That's the universe. That's a rose in my universe that I created. So how can you say that I created? What are you saying? You're God? I am the spark of the source. You are already a spiritual being. You are evolving. Ascension is creation. Expansion, we can understand that with the galaxies. They expand. They're circular. They expand. Now, some people think it expands out and retracts, and then it starts over again. See, we have these concepts. And we forget who we are, that we are a creator. But see, yes, there are 8 billion of us. You're a creator. Invite me to your creation. I would love to go to your universe and see a creation. My mother was a classical pianist, not famous, although she was etched in a piano that had a person that is famous, and I was like, whoa, that's kind of special, but she wasn't, just limited in teacher, just teacher, not famous out there. She could have been. She could have been picked up. See, she could have been picked up easily. She had the skill and the talent. I mean, she, made 2 CDs, and it's just precious to me, but the perfection to get to the level of a concert pianist, to play, Mozart and Beethoven, to play these things, to grow up with a beautiful mother like that could juggle. See, we think, well, she wasn't there and this and that. My parents divorced and I can go down these roads, see, my needs weren't met, and I was lacking that, and but what did I say? See, that's the negative side. So we have to see, like every person, there's beauty. See, we're all flawed. We all have shortcomings. See, this is about realizing spirituality and physical and spiritual on a level that, wow, okay, that's weird. Okay, I have different, okay, wow, now that's total, okay, 139 and then 931, now that's weird. First I see 931, then I see 139 on the timer on this phone. Okay, that is, okay, that's, all right. Okay, I have to pause. Okay, this is so weird. Oh my God, it's just blank. And the PTSD, see, this is like real.
It's like I just can't take it sometimes. But, you know, so that's life. You know, I feel pain. Sometimes I don't like to say, you know, so, oh, I don't want to heal myself. See, that's the ultimate test for myself. And it's a good one. But, you know, we all have tests, and everything's a test almost. It's like the van who, you know, parked. I mean, it's not a parking spot, you know. It's like there's parking.